Hello.
Hello.
I just got done reading this book. It sucks. So, I'm just gonna go through this like a PowerPoint presentation, and I'm gonna tell you 3 things I thought were good and 3 things I thought were bad. First thing I wanted to say is that on the back it says for high beginner to low intermediate language learners. So, I think that that's accurate. Like, it's kind of hard. I have not studied any Spanish. I'm on section 2 of Duolingo, and I was able to read it just because I speak English and I'm learning French. So, it's not that hard, but, it's kind of like a kid's book, I guess. So I thought that was good. My second thing that I thought was good was, like, it's 100 pages of book. So, once you get done reading, it's like, woohoo, finished a book in Spanish. So that's good. My third thing that I liked was that the topic of the stories is like the kind of thing that you would probably see in, like, not kids' books necessarily, but I'm sure that there are other books like this. So if you read this, then you know that you can read other books about the same thing. Now, for why I did not like it at all. The first thing is that the stories suck. Like, they're really boring. At the beginning, it says, you may wish to reread the chapter a few times using the vocabulary list to check unknown words. So he wants you to read it a few times, and I would agree, so that you learn the words, I guess, but so many of these stories end in like a plot twist or a happy reunion. You're not going to want to read it again, let alone 3 or 4 times. The second bad point is that the exercises suck. Yeah, they're all multiple choice questions, and I'd say about 50% of them you can work out by like using common sense. What time in the year do the Vikings need to go search for food? Is it summer? No. Is it winter? Probably. Yeah, that's it. If I were gonna make this book, I would make the questions be like, what do you think Lucy should do? Or why do you think Nino did that? Or something that forces you to make a sentence in Spanish. Of course, I could make those questions myself, but if this was someone's first book or something, or they hadn't learned a language before, maybe they wouldn't know how to do that. The third thing that I didn't like was the vocab lists. I feel like they have been chosen at random. Like, there's a mix of like easy ones and hard ones. I also feel like in a story about pirates, you'd think, oh, okay, it's going to be a new vocabulary about pirates. No, it's like sometimes basic verbs mixed in and stuff. So I think not everyone who reads this is going to have the same vocabulary or find the same words difficult. So they do have a glossary at the back with all the words that were highlighted, but I feel like they should just expand that to have most of the words, and then you can look them up yourself, but at the back of the book instead of in a full dictionary, and then it's easier. So, would I buy this book in a different language? Maybe. It's okay in Spanish because it's so similar to English that I could kind of just read it. One story takes like half an hour. If I was reading in a more difficult language, it might take me like an hour or 2 hours to get through a whole chapter, only to find out at the end that it's like that I've predicted the plot twist. It's still a book in Spanish, so if you want to read a book and you need an easy book, it's a book. But I would prefer probably a children's book or a selection of native but easy level stories, or my first book in French was like a parallel text, so I think that maybe next in Spanish I can do that instead of this one. That's the end of the video.